Today is June 6th, 2022. This is the afternoon pre-issuance calendar. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm presiding magistrate judge over this case, over these cases. When I call the calendar, I want to hear the appropriate announcement as it relates to the case. So position number one is Sierra Simone Gilliam versus Marcus Argue. And I heard from you, Mr. Farmer, that Miss Gilliam is present.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Argue is not present.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Position number two is Marketa Nicole Hayward versus James Gaylord Arnold Jr.
I've got neither party are present, sir.
That case is in our office. We do have a child support order on that case.
You do?
Your Honor, I apologize. Ms. Hayward has come in.
Okay.
Oh, wait, that's my office.
No problem. Ms. Gresham, and I'll come back to you as it relates to the case being in your office and the status of it, okay? Position number three, Erica Jones versus Gary Lee Brownlee.
Have both.
You have both present?
Yes, sir.
Is that a case that can be negotiated with prior to a determination?
No, sir. I was told that they did not want mediation.
Okay. Thank you. Position number four is Devion Shakina Corley versus Christopher Cannon.
Sir, I have the plaintiff is here for that case and the defendant is not here.
Okay. Thank you. Position five is Mercedes Shanta Holston versus Markel Danliel.
Your Honor, the plaintiff in this case, she made it known that she was going back to the clerk's office to have this case withdrawn.
Okay. So is it your, and I'm not asking you to have a definitive answer, but is this going to be a dismissal for warrant of prosecution?
Yes, sir. She did not appear, but she did say that that was her intention last week.
Okay. Position six, Sierra Simone Gilliam versus Dontarius Fiante Gibson.
Both parties are here, sir.
Thank you. Position seven, we discussed earlier. Samantha Leanne Hunter or Williams versus Jason Garrod Hunter. And I believe you indicated that they wanted to try to mediate this.
Yes, sir. I was gonna go into attempt mediation.
Okay. And are they both in the courthouse?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at the end of the call of calendar and for us to discuss the argue matter, I'm going to release you so that you can engage in mediation with these parties and then report back whatever is the result.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Position number 8, Chantel Yvette Gresham versus Tavarius Bernard Jackson.
I had neither party appear, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Bernard. Okay. Your Honor, the defendant is here on that case, Jackson.
Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that'll be subject to dismissal for warrant of prosecution. Position 9 is Vicky Pearl Dix versus William Shaw.
Your Honor, neither party has appeared.
Okay. So that's going to be subject to dismissal for warrant of prosecution. And I'll just note it's 1:48 in calendar, so it'll start at 1:30. Position 10, Whitney E. Harris versus Brandon Keith Washington.
Your Honor, both parties are here.
Okay. And do either of those parties want to engage in mediation?
No, sir. Their case was continued. I believe there was some things that was supposed to be reported on since the last hearing.
Okay. All right. So before I release Mr. Farmer to go into mediation with Ms. Williams and Mr. Hunter, on position 1, Ms. Gilliams versus Mr. Argy. Do we know? Well, first question is, and if I need to bring the parties up, I'll do that. But Mr. Argue is not there. Ms. Gilliam may be present. Was this child born out of wedlock?
I don't know the answer to that, sir.
Okay. Can we bring Miss Sierra Simone Gilliam up? Good afternoon, ma'am. I have to ask you some. Oh, I think it's okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. I have to ask you some foundational questions for this case. First question is it Soraya?
Yes.
Okay. Was Soraya born out of wedlock?
No, sir.
So you and Mr. Argue were married?
No, we wasn't married. We was in a relationship.
Okay. So that means that she was born out of wedlock.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant.
Okay. Well, and I'm sorry. If I ask you a question and you don't understand the question, feel free to ask me to clarify. Okay. Has there been any steps made to legitimate this child? Meaning, has there been a court order or a DNA test that determined that Mr. Argue is in fact the father of this child?
No, sir. We took the steps was finna go get the DNA test, but he didn't show. So I put the child abandonment out.
Okay. So because of those two questions, as far as the law is concerned, your child has no legal father. So with child abandonment, the first thing is that there is a father that has been established, and that father is not following through with that father's responsibility in taking care of the child. So there's going to have to be a determination of paternity, meaning if you believe that Mr. Argue is the father, and when I say that, and it's I'm not trying to disparage you in any way. It used to be you go through, if you're doing it through government, you go through the district attorney's office. And they, thank you, Ms. Gresham, and they then take that matter on. Before you can go through this process, there has to be a determination that Mr. Argue is in fact the father of that child. And today we have DNA. So Ms. Gresham, can you help me tell Ms. Gilliam the steps?
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Sean, I'd be more than happy to. Hi, Miss Gilliam.
Hey, how are you?
Are you familiar with where does Mr. Argue live? What county, do you know?
You talking to me, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, Plain County.
Okay, so he lives in Clayton County. Well, our office is right up. Do you know where Morrow, where most people know where the Cracker Barrel is in Morrow? Do you know where that is?
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
right next to the Cracker Barrel. You
Okay.
can go anytime, Monday through Thursday, between 10 and 3. And you can actually fill out the application online and then bring in the paperwork or mail in the paperwork. And then we can get all that started. We can get the DNA test done there and everything started right there in our office. And also set up a specified amount of child support that he's obligated to pay monthly if it is determined that he is the biological father of your child.
Yes, ma'am.
So actually, well, it's 2:00 now. If you wanted to go over there now or go get on the portal now, you can go ahead and get it started.
Okay.
Okay, you understand where it is? You know where the Cracker Barrel is. You got the IHOP, the Cracker Barrel. We're in the plaza right behind there.
Okay.
Okay.
And ma'am, I would encourage you to follow Ms. Gresham's directions, because every child deserves to be supported and needs to go through the proper channels.
Correct.
Okay. So position number 1 is going to be dismissed because there's currently not a proper determination of parentage. But ma'am, if you want to go through this route, or if you want to go through the route of going through a court and having him placed on custody and child support and all of that stuff, and every judge that I know, including me, will honor those orders. Okay. Do you have any questions, ma'am, about this process or what should happen?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, ma'am. You are dismissed, and I would encourage you to do what Ms. Gresham encouraged you to do, is go do it now.
Okay.
Go do it today.
I got another.
But she has another case, position number 5. Not 5, Number 6.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have you go sit back,
Okay.
and Mr. Farmer, I'm going to, if it's okay, and tell me if it's not, for you to go mediate the situation on, I think, position 8 or 7.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Have a good day.
So, who's this? Miss Singleton?
That's my assistant, Your Honor.
Oh,
I'm sorry for my tardiness.
no problem, ma'am. I'm just gonna send Miss Mary over to beat you up.
No, I'm not gonna beat her up, but I do think we need to talk about people coming to court with proper attire. Miss Mary is old fashioned and everything needs to be covered up, not you, Miss Singleton.
Oh, you're talking about Miss.
Yeah, you know what I'm, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. I don't get into those discussions.
You know,
I
but
do
I
know
can.
courtrooms that won't even let you through the doors.
Exactly.
Ms.
That's
Moultrie.
right. That's right.
But you know, Miss Mary, it was a big old thing
Mm-hmm.
that courthouses are public buildings.
Yeah.
And so these dress codes, I mean, unless you're as they say, being lewd and lascivious,
Yeah.
you get to come in wearing what you want to wear.
Get to come as you are.
Well, this
Yeah.
ain't the church. You can't even come into church like that.
Miss Mary, I don't know when last time you've been to church. 'Cause
Oh, no, you didn't.
I just say, maybe I'm going to the wrong church.
Yeah, trust me, and when I go, you would be pulled aside in a minute. So we just need to cover up to make sure everybody stays honest.
She said, so everybody stay honest. I came with you, Miss Mary.
Yeah, I grew up in church. You don't mess with nobody wearing church hats. You do not mess with a lady wearing a church hat.
And that would be me, Judge. I am an old Baptist girl, former deaconess when I was married. So you cover it up.
Well, at least she's taking good use of the court's time. She's bringing all her baby daddies on the same day. So make a good use of it.
Yes. And I think we should bring Miss Gilliam back up and Mr. Gibson, since she's there and he's there, and we can dispose of this matter.
And do you want information now on that case, you want them before they come in, or you want to wait?
No, you can